All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our generative AI course, and we're still doing our text to SQL project. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. Now, tonight we did add some more code and more. Oh, we didn't add any more files. We're still working on the file that we created yesterday, the SQL.py file, this one here. So we're just gonna be working on that one today, or we did work on that one tonight. We're just gonna do some light reading and tell you exactly what's going on. So to get started, we will create a new file. We will be writing our code for our LLM. Like I just stated, it's going to be the SQL.py. The name of this file will be the SQL.py or SQL, if you guys don't know. The first thing we will do is import the .env library. This is how we will do that. You see, from .env import load.env. Again, we probably won't even use this because I'm going to be using the Google Colab. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just doing this to go over the motions of it to make sure we know how to do it in case we ever want to do it in the future. With that being said, so this is to load all the environment variables. We will use this code. That's gonna be the load.env. I put a little note here to load all environment variables. The next thing we will do is import Streamlit. This is the code we will use to do that. You should know how to do Streamlit already. We've done it several times. The next thing we will do is import the operating system. We've done this several times also to import OS. Then we're going to import the import SQLite 3 or SQLite 3. Then we're going to import our Google.generative AI as Gen AI. Then we're going to import, or we're going to configure our API key, and we're going to do it like this: Gen AI.configure API underscore key equals os.getenv Google API key. And we wrote it like this because remember we're storing our Google API key in our environment, so we have to get env Google API key. That's why we use the OS. It's the operating system dot get env Google API key. Then after that, let me see. All right, and lastly, the last thing we did tonight was we created a function to load our Gemini image. This is the function we created here. So we are define get Gemini response question prompt. Our function will take two parameters. Question is the input we are given, and prompt, of course, is going to the behavior of the model. So the question is the input we give the model, and the prompt is how we want the model to actually handle the inputs we give it, and how we want the model to behave overall. Then we're gonna do model equals Gen AI generative model, Gemini Pro. This is the model we're going to be using. Then we're going to get our response from the model. Response equals model generate content. We're going to pass in again as parameters the behavior of the model and then the inputs. Next, we want to return our response. Return response text. So this entire function is responsible for giving our query. So basically, this is going to be a function we use to actually create queries for our model and how we query our model. And that's what we went over for that. Let me show you the SQL.py file here that we actually writing our code in. As you know, I always do a walkthrough version and I do a coded version. And the coded version is the version we actually run in our file to actually generate our models. So basically, this is where we at tonight. We took a lot of notes. But again, you see all those notes boiled down into a few lines of code. But of course, the few lines of code will make no sense at all. Will make no sense at all without the notes letting us know what steps we took and how we implemented things. So we're going to keep moving forward, building our Texas SQL project. Of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.